How we doing, Long Beach? Make some noise! The O'Reilly Auto Parts Streets of Long Beach. This is round one of the Formula Drift Black Magic Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. I'm Jarod, DeAnda. Ryan Sears will be joining me alongside Ryan Lontaine, who'll be giving some insight from the judges. Lorette Nick will be down in the pits. But we kick things off in grand fashion. We are live around the world, so tell everybody you're here. Hashtag FDLB. Let everybody know. Again, make some noise, Long Beach! First off, you might notice down there on the track, the young men and women wearing blue t-shirts have made a commitment to serve in our United States Air Force. And to honor their commitment, if you could, please stand while Lieutenant Colonel Scott Fleming administers the oath of enlistment.
Good afternoon, Long Beach. What a great day to be here. The weather's perfect. It's April's 1st. We're going to have a great afternoon. But first, we have 22 young women and men on the track that are committing their lives to the world's greatest Air Force. Thank you for what you are about to embark on. If I could all have you raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President and the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations.
All right, now please remain standing, and if you would, remove your hats. As we are presenting the colors is the Blue Eagles Base Honor Guard. And singing the national anthem is Angel Mingo.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, make some noise, Long Beach. Keep the party going. Let's introduce you to our top 16 drivers kicking off the 14th season of the Formula Drift Championship. We start off with that signature teal and blue livery. He's the beast from the Bay from San Jose, California, in the Falcon Tires S chassis. It's Matt Field. Moving on down the line, he qualified third yesterday. He is behind the wheel of the Gumout Hankook Tires Nameless Performance Toyota GT86. It's Ryan Turk. Just behind him is Drift Alliance teammate, three-time Formula Drift champion, defending champion in the NOS Energy Drink, 370Z on Hankook tires. Say hello to Chris the Force Forsberg. Next up, this V8 powered BMW on Nitto tires, IMR Inca Madness Racing. It is Alex Hilbrun. Coming to us all the way from Finland, the Nexen Tires S chassis vehicle. It is Juha Rintanen. His nickname was The Future, and the future is now. He's in the Gretty Performance Nexen Tires 2JZ GT86. It is the Gushkan Kushi. All-American from Michigan. He is in the Roush Performance Falcon Tires, all carbon fiber body, Falcon Tires, Ford Mustang, JTP, Justin Pollock. Next up is your 2015 Formula Drift champion, a new car, but still the same Norwegian hammer. The Rockstar Energy Nexen Tires Toyota Corolla IM. It is Frederick Osbo. Another Formula Drift champion. He's got pink ESSA Autosports on the car in honor of his daughter. He's a proud rad dad in the ESSA Autosports Achilles Radial BMW Formula Drift champion, Michael Essa. A real contender back behind the wheel of his proven V8S chassis vehicle, running the signature teal and blue Falcon tire livery. It is Aurimas Odi Bakchis. Next up, not only is he a former Formula Drift champion, but he's also the recipient of the Black Magic Top Qualifier Award, getting $500 and a case of Black Magic Intense Tire Wet to the top qualifier. Also, a big bag of cash presented by Black Magic brand manager Rusty Waples, and top qualifier signing board being held by John Interieri, district manager of O'Reilly Auto Parts. Your number one qualifier in the Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Mustang, Vaughn Ginn Jr. $500 richer, courtesy of Black Magic. He's going to spend that tonight. Get that cash. Grab that money. All right, moving right along. He is out for it. Coming to us all the way from Latvia in the V8 Power HGK Achilles Radial BMW. It is Kristaps Blues. All right, next up. Next up, he is working hard. The lights are on. The Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper on Achilles Radial tires. Coming to us from Ireland, Dean Carnage Carney. Next up, I don't want to call him a newcomer, but it's been some time since we've seen this tall young man, and he is ready and out to battle. He qualified high yesterday. He qualified second in that Wordhouse Drift Team S15. It is James Dean. Coming to us from Poland, rounding out that two-car Wordhouse 2JZ S15. Again, coming to us from Poland, a Formula Drift rookie. Say hello to Peter Winczak. Last but definitely not least, going to the dark side. He is out for blood, the villain. 959 from the PNW. Say hello to Matt Coffman. There are your top 16 drivers. Long Beach and around the world, are you ready to send in? Make some noise, stomp your feet. All right, so we will get them ready. Get your cameras out, get your phones out, let everybody know you're here. Hashtag FDLB. It begins here in Long Beach and it ends not too far in Irwindale, California. This menacing track is about to get tore up here at round one. The Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. say Long Beach warming the track up. Matt Coffman, full pull there, just the shape of things to come. Well, we have a special guest here. The United States Air Force has been a great supporter of Formula Drift and the supporter of what I obviously consider the best country in the world. So, you know, U.S. Air Force supports us as a sanction body, but Air Force supports us as a country. But we have a special guest up here. Staff Sergeant Joey Rubio is here in the booth. We're going to have some words with Mr. Rubio. How are we doing, Joey?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
All right, I'm fantastic. Let's get this a little closer. And what's your title within the United States Air Force? What do you do?
So I'm a staff sergeant in the U.S. Air Force, but I also do the marketing piece for all of Southern California.
Okay.
So when it comes to recruiting, I also train new recruiters, but bigger piece on the marketing side. So dealing with events and things of that sort.
Right on. So you got to love this. And are your kids out here and wife and everything?
Yes, sir. I have 2 boys, Quentin and Eli, if you're in the stands. What's up? And my wife, Christina, she's in the stands. Hey, babe.
Cool. Right on. Give him a shout out. And if somebody wanted to join the Air Force, my grandfather's in the Air Force. That's his plane tattooed on me. That's why I got those things there.
Awesome.
So thank you for your service. You guys do so much. But if somebody wanted to enter the Air Force, because it's not, you know, it's not all just about war and guns, and there's so much technology, so much information like that booth over there. But what are some of the roles that you could play in the United States Air Force, and how could one enter into the United States Air Force?
So there's a bunch of different qualifications, but I think the biggest one is just be open-minded.
Yeah.
You know, we have over 140 different career fields. As long as you fall between that 17 to 39 age range, you know, minimal medical issues, medical law violations. We're just looking for somebody very open-minded. If you like Formula Drift, you obviously like the mechanics of it. We have plenty of mechanical and electrical career fields for you guys, and we can all tie it in.
And are you a car guy? What's your favorite? I mean, have you been to a Formula Drift event before?
No, this is actually my first one.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right, right on. So do you think you're a fan?
I am now.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
sir.
And how long have you been in the service?
I've been in 12 and a half years.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Well, thank you again for your service.
Thank you.
Both you and United States Air Force. Round of applause. Thank you so
very
much.
Thank you.
Staff Sergeant Joey Rubio and the United States Air Force. Thank you so much. And now you get to just hang out and hang out with your kids and your family and enjoy the sights and sounds. So thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care.
All right.
All right, thank you again for joining us out here. Formula Drift Long Beach, round 1 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. We'll get Ryan Sage up here as well. And then also Ryan Lontaine and Laurent Nichols. She's been getting some great interviews post battles. What are you looking forward to, Ryan? I mean, we're looking, you know, kind of what we saw yesterday to today. It's been pretty exciting.
Yeah, some really exciting battles in the top 16, and obviously I think a lot of people are wanting to know how the new guys are going to do in Peter and James having done time in Formula D in the past. But I think, you know, the series is much different now. It's a lot more competitive, but to see him come out and do what he did in qualifying yesterday and then making it, having a bye run and being able to go right to the top 16 obviously is going to help his chances and opportunities. But we've got some great lineups here. Vaughn and Dean Kearney on the first battle, Odi and Peter, Osbo and Christoph Zablus, and Alex Hilbrun and Juha Rintanen on the left side of the bracket.
Yeah, and then over there on the right side, you're looking at it. James Dean, you just talked about him. He's going against Michael Essa, a former Formula Drift champion. Forsberg and Goosh. I mean, the 2 guys that have been around since day 1. Ryan Turk and JTP, that should be pretty fun. Ryan Turk, you know, behind both those guys, more seat time than some of the other drivers in their vehicles, and it's proven. And then look at that, Coffman and Field. I mean, all killer, no filler today. All right, well, welcome back, and we talked about the Drift's wheels. You can win a set. Well, we have a winner. You can win a set of Drift's wheels, and round 1, Javier, I believe it's Jara or Hara. I don't know. I don't think it's Javier Jara, so I'll say Javier Hara. Winner of the Drift's Hardcore Wheels for the Street. All you need to do is put that hashtag in a photo, and he won some wheels, so congratulations to him. And also Centerline wheels, Centerline alloy wheels. Scott Johnston, congratulations. You received a brand new set, courtesy of atdwheels.com, a brand new set of Centerline alloy wheels. Congratulations, Scott Johnston. So, I don't know if you saw, but we basically had all the cars parked out there. There's one vehicle that was late to the party out there, but finally made it for driver intro, and that was Matt Field. He's been having some issues. Laurent Nichols caught up with Matt Field.
With 2 wins to his credit in 2016, he's looking for his first one in 2017. And Matt, your team was testing some new setups. They weren't working, so you went back to last year's data. So is that working well for you?
So far, the suspension on the car today has been much better. Obviously, as the sport progresses, we try to progress as a team as well. We tried some things, didn't quite like them, went back. Fortunately, we have data from the past, and it seems to be working well.
Okay. Now, your engine tuner, Jay Chang, did tell me that you're having a misfiring issue, and they think it's internal. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, we've been chasing problems all day, pretty much, all weekend even. We think we solve it, then it comes back. And then we do something else, and then it goes away for a little while, and then it comes back. So we're kind of at the point where we're playing the cards we're dealt. We have to make adjustments on the car for the engine and hope that it holds together.
Okay. Matt Field, best of luck. Fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Lorette, and good luck, Matt Field, as we are ready to do battle here, or the gentlemen are doing battle. I'm just talking about it. All right, who's going to advance on? We've already whittled down to 16. We'll go 8-4, and of course, we'll get the podium. So, pretty exciting stuff here. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Dean Carnage Carney. These guys have gone against each other 5 times, with Dean besting Vaughn 3 compared to 2. So, it should be pretty interesting here. Look at the winning percentage. See 66.8 compared to Dean's 43.1. So Vaughn is the guy to beat. I mean, he number 1 qualifier. He had a 97 on his qualifying run. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will lead. Dean Carney will be given chase. And we are ready to kick things off here in the top 16. If you're tuning in, let everybody know, hashtag FDLB. Download the Formula Drift app, updating it throughout the year with new content, results, and all the information. Dean Carney having issues of his own, and he's been working feverishly on the vehicle, shoot every single night. Having head gasket issues. You know, Vaughn Gittin Jr. just had an issue. He was doing a burnout on media day, I believe it was on Tuesday, and hit the wall. So here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiating into the judge's perspective. Nice job under the bridge, and Dean simultaneously transitioning as Vaughn Gittin Jr. dives in. Oh, correction there from Dean. Vaughn zeroes in on that final front flip. Great execution by Vaughn Gittin Jr. Let's take a look at that again there, Ryan.
Yeah, and as we bring in the third member of our broadcast team, Ryan Lantain. Ryan, just how important is the lead driver trying to nail down as close to a 100-point run as he can? It seems like Vaughn checked the boxes here, even though Dean was really close. It looked like Dean made a slight bobble towards the end, but if you could walk us through what you saw there.
Yeah, it looked like Dean was actually deeper in touch, or the outside zone 1 than Vaughn was. But what I noticed about Dean's follow was he did pretty well in the first couple of corners, but when he got over to the touch and go 2, setting up for inside clip 1, he was kind of off pace with Vaughn. He was not mimicking Vaughn's transition very well at that point. He was a little bit behind. So we'll see how Vaughn does when he's chasing Dean. But in overall, Vaughn had a really clean lead run.
All right, so now Dean will be out front. You can see him just making his way, keeping his Achilles warm. That start chicane being instituted once again. If this is your first event, that start chicane been implemented over the past few years. What am I trying to say here? What it's trying to do is basically get the drivers paired up. I don't know, maybe you want to elaborate a little bit on the start chicane.
Yeah, it just allows the chase driver to leave the line basically whenever he would like. So as long as he leads up with the lead driver coming into the first corner, the lead driver needs to leave when the light actually drops, and he does need to go through that chicane. So the idea is to slow him down, allow the chase driver an opportunity to be as close as possible so we get the best show possible leaving the first corner.
Get them close in proximity to each other, especially on initiation. All right, we are sending car here on the second half of this battle. Dean Carnage will be leading. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will be giving chase. And here we go. And we're seeing, it looks like I'm seeing a red flag here. Okay, so that is a restart. All right, so there, as we were just talking about it, that start chicane, those cones there, if you hit a cone, it is a restart. So no tires burned, nothing earned. 3 strikes, you're out. If you do have 3 restarts, whichever driver has 3 restarts, they automatically lose, they default, and the other driver advances on. Here we go. So, big Dodge Viper of Dean Carnage Carney, Oracle Lighting, Achilles Radial, and here we go. Dean out front, Vaughn in tow, drifting at the same point, not simultaneous, but at the same point. Dean getting all the way out to that touch and go, transitioning under the bridge. Dean, big angle, Vaughn Jr. sticking it to the door. How is he going to handle that? You saw him just let him slip by, and Vaughn Jr. a major mistake. A big mistake there by Vaughn Jr. Ryan, take a look at it again. It seemed to go south when he was on his door, coming just past the main grandstand, and had to really slam on the brakes.
Well, it was a really great start here by both drivers. You can see Dean coming down the front straight. Nice initiation. Look at Vaughn. Great rate to angle here. And then Ryan, pick us up as we come out of outer zone number 1 right here and into outer zone number 2. Vaughn is surging forward. And this looks like the area that we're going to talk about the most right here on this last inside clip. Go ahead.
Yes, we are. It looked like Vaughn tried to get inside. He had a poor transition because he had himself set up in the wrong place. Well, as he was coming from outside zone 2 to touch and go 2. So you can see here as they go through outside zone 2, Vaughn's a little too far inside, and he has to really back off to let Dean transition. And because Vaughn backed off, he didn't have the momentum to get himself around that inside clip, and he ended up coming on the inside of that clip and got in the way of Dean. So Dean hit him and kind of went off course there. But we're going to have to look at this from every single view that we have again, just to be fair to both drivers. But we're going to come to a conclusion pretty quickly here.
Pretty interesting turn of events there for Vaughn. I mean, that was it's kind of, he's bummed, but Dean could be pumped.
Yeah, we always see some very exciting battles in top 32, but it seems to kind of ratchet up a little north once we get into top 16 and then certainly into the final rounds. But yeah, it was a great start by both drivers. From first pass on mine, it just looks like Vaughn was a little over aggressive. He fell back here on this transition into the last inside clip. Tried to make it and cut that line on the inside, but it was just a little bit too tight there, and made contact with Dean. So we'll have to confirm with the judges if they also think that is the case, and get ourselves a winner here, moving on into the grade 8.
That was really weird. All right, so taking a look at it again here, you see Dean got out to outside zone. You saw Vaughn, he did not. So it's kind of really on his door, so he really had to slam on the brakes. Lantain?
Yeah, Dean was really aggressive on that first touch and go. You could see that he hit the wall. He had a slight lack of angle when he hit the wall. It kind of took a little bit of angle out of the car, but he was staying on throttle. He was driving as hard as he possibly could, and it just looked like Vaughn was kind of a step behind from that point on. Might have been a little inside on the track in terms of outside zone 2, and then ended up making a mistake over there. Yeah, so you can see Vaughn on the inside right here. Doesn't have room, has to back off, and then doesn't have the momentum, like I said, to carry him out. Straightens up almost, and then gets in Dean's way. So it looks like Vaughn's going to be at fault for that collision.
The judge is really just analyzing it to the 99th degree just to make sure. And Ryan, I think you're right. Vaughn really got thrown off once that wall was tapped by Dean. And it slowed him down, had him scrub a lot of speed. All right, so we are waiting for the verdict. And here we go. Slide left for Dean, and there it is. Dean Carnage Carney gets the win, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. is knocked out. Your #1 qualifier ends up making a critical mistake and takes himself out of competition. So unfortunately, Vaughn Gittin Jr., he is out, but Dean Carnage Carney, he is pumped. Again, all the hard work is paying off. Keep the party going. Odi Bakchis, Peter Vincek. This should be a fun one. 2 S chassis, 240s, or excuse me, not 240s, but S15 and S14. 2JZ under the hood of Peter's vehicle. Got an LS under the hood of the Falcon Tire. Wrapped S14 of Odi Bakchis. And with Peter being a Formula Drift rookie, this is his first ever top 16. And here we go. So, Odi Bakchis will lead. Peter Vinchek giving chase. Peter right there on the door. Odi using all of the course, getting out there. You saw Peter have to transition early as Odi Bakchis. Peter really on the door. Losing some parts is Peter. And there it is, shallowing up. Woo! Some mistakes made by Peter, but regardless, just an exciting run.
Well, these boys are here not to play any games, and that was a really fun battle to watch. Let's take a look here as Odi takes the lead out front. You can see Peter already putting the pressure on. Now, like you said, Jarod, Peter's going to transition early right there as Odi goes really deep into that first and second outer zone. But right here, Ryan, what happens to Peter on this transition in the last inside clip?
Yeah, he seemed to get really, really close on outside zone 1. He actually anticipated where Odi was going to be and transitioned before him, which was pretty impressive. It's not really a mimic, but wow, did that look good. And then he just got a little too close from outside zone 2, coming up to touch and go 2. They rubbed a little bit, and then Peter ran out of momentum and had to straighten up there at the end. But pretty exciting battle.
Yeah, right out of the gate. Off-season is definitely over, man. These guys are going hard. And Peter Vinchek, he's got nothing to lose, man. He's got everything to prove, but nothing to lose. And Odi Bakchis, he is just, I think he's really happy to probably be back behind the wheel of an S chassis. I mean, he made the Genesis look great last year, but I think his happy place is an S chassis. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I think Odi's gonna, whatever Odi drives, he's gonna be phenomenal at it. But I think for him, this was the setup that he really, really liked, and certainly showing that right now. Just outside last year of getting in that top 3, and looking to better himself this year in 2017.
All right, so making sure the track is clear. Debris is off the course. You saw, I believe it was Odi's side skirt that ended up flying off. All right, here we go. Peter Vinchek will lead from Poland. Odi Bakchis giving chase. Look at that. Nice job. Odi initiating at the same time. Peter pulling away from Odi Bakchis. Peter under the bridge. Good angle. And there it is coming around the bend. That final. A good effort there by Peter and Odi Bakchis.
Well, definitely wasn't the chase that we usually expect to see from Odi, but I think good thing for him, he was able to close up that gap towards the end. Ryan, from your perspective here, with Peter having that big mistake towards the end on the first run, did Odi's chase here really have an impact on the overall run, or do you think he got enough?
Well, he was playing with fire in the beginning, but like you said, luckily he closed the gap halfway through. Right about here, he started to get a little bit closer, but when we look at an incomplete chase or that doesn't really apply to this situation. I think it looked like Odi was trying, he just couldn't keep up with the car. So we're gonna, I think, score this fairly for both of them.
Yeah. So you can see there, Odi and Peter. Looks like having some words there. All right, I think he's telling him congratulations. That's nice. Getting out of the car, saying good battle. And Peter's stoked, man, the Wordhouse team. All right, slide him left for Peter, slide him right for Bakchis. And there it is. Odi gets the win. Odi gets the win. A great lead run. I think that, Peter had that mistake there towards the tail end of when Odi led. So that is all she wrote. But, man, look out, world. Peter Vinchek from Poland, he is no joke. Here we go next. Oh, look at this. This is a rematch from Orlando. We talked about, Ryan, we talked about it earlier. Kristaps was one clipping point away from the victory in Orlando last year, and it was against Frederick Osbo. So potentially some redemption here. You know, Kristaps is in the same car he piloted last year. Osbo definitely not. Similar engine setup. The 2AR and the Rockstar Engineering Nexen Tires Toyota Corolla IM. Here we go. Osbo out front. Kristaps Blues give a chase. Initiating are both the gentlemen. Norway and Latvia. Look at that. And there's Kristaps closing the gap. Again, oh, and Kristaps spins. Something is amiss there. What went wrong for Kristaps as he exited and finished out that rear clipping zone, chasing him down?
Well, certainly tensions are high here as we get deeper into competition. Let's take a look as Frederick Osbo leaves the gate. Kristaps Blues right behind him. Osbo into initiation here, back on the throttle as both guys leave turn 9. Nice job by Osbo on that touch and go back around. Great job right there on that first outside zone. Now here we see Osbo putting big angle in the car. Kristaps coming up, and right there is where Kristaps no longer becomes a factor. Osbo through the rest of the course. So that now, Ryan, you talked a lot about that area, that it is a decel area. We saw 2 examples in 32 where one went for the driver in the chase, one went for the driver in the lead when there was either contact or big angle there. How do you look at this one so far?
So far, we just found out that there was contact made, but it looks like there's a mechanical issue with Kristaps' car, so we'll have to figure out if that was the reason for his spin or if the hit had something to do with it. So he is looking at the front of his car. We're going to have to review the replay again, and we'll see what we all come up with as a result.
All right, so as you can see, Kristaps, he's going to need some help off track. And like the judges do every time, they will see who is at fault. Here we go, taking a look at it again. Was Kristaps pushing too hard and he got into the side of Osbo? Let's take a look. Osbo using all the course, and was there contact?
There was contact. I believe that was confirmed, yeah.
So Kristaps is deemed at fault. He'll have to utilize his competition timeout, uses 5 minutes in order to fix his vehicle, see if it can get up and running. And then Frederick Osbo can take a look at his car since he was not at fault. All right, so there you go. You can see him warming him up. That is Alex Hilbrun. So Osbo and Blues will be put on hold. And Hilbrun versus Juha Rintanen. So Juha from Finland, Alex Hilbrun from Peru. Inca Madness Racing, as he calls his team. And these guys have seen battle no times together. 36.4 winning percentage. So Alex has a little bit higher compared to the 30% winning percentage. And Alex warming up his Nitto tires. Talking to him, what kind of changes he made. He beefed up the car. He changed the suspension kit, basically the angle kit. They developed their own, and he's loving it. Outside of a new body kit and a new look, he still is developing the vehicle more. All right, you can see Juha back there. All right, Hilbrun on the start line. You could see there Juha on Nexen tires. Nexen tire smoke filling the burnout box. Shout out to Parker Jet, Tyson Bravo watching at home. Love you boys. How we doing, T-Bone? Shout out to my wife, Stephanie. Thanks for watching. Tell all your friends, tune in now. All right, we are sending cars. Here we go. Back to the action. A little bit of delay there from the contact of Kristaps and deciding who was at fault. Send it. So already into the grade 8. Dean Carnage Carney and Odi Bakchis, who's going to be joining them. Alex Silbron, Juha Rintanen. Good initiation by Alex. Look at that, exploding his back bumper. Alex Silbron, Juha Rintanen applying the pressure here towards the latter portion of the track. Look at that, door to door. Make some noise, Long Beach. Wow, exploding that back with tail light, almost ended up in the stands. That's why practice safety.
Phenomenal job by Rintanen on the latter part of the course, but on the first half right here, I think this is probably the best version of outside zone 1 that we've seen. Ryan, right here, I mean, you don't get much closer than that and not have an impact in your line. So tell us what you thought about the lead run there from Alex and then the chase here from Juha on the last section of the course.
Yeah, that was some incredible accuracy on Heilbrun's part, getting that close to the wall, ripping the bumper off, but not actually changing the direction of his drift at all, not changing the angle or the momentum. That was fantastic. Juha did a good job in the chase position, maintaining proximity and mimicking what Heilbrun was doing in the lead position. So now it's going to be up to Juha to lead and Heilbrun to try to put together a good chase.
All right, so let's see. Juha will lead. Juha will lead. Heilbrun, minus that back bumper and a taillight, he will be given chase. Juha's been really coming on strong. He debuted that car last year, and it looks like he's finally really getting it to do what he wants. Juha Rintanen. Next to tires, STR Racing Wheels. Again, Juha, JR Motorsports, running the 2JZ, about 850 horsepower. Juha out front. Alex Hilbrun giving chase. And here they come. Interview of the judges. Juha, some shimming there as he goes under the bridge. He taps the wall. Big correction there from Juha. Now into that outer zone in front of the judges stand and into the peninsula. Looks like Juha was going for it, maybe taking some notes as he was chasing down Alex, but didn't really quite pay off the way that it did for Alex.
Well, it got a little hairy there coming into outer zone number 1. Right underneath the Firestone Bridge. Let's take a look at this here. Juha Rintanen taking the lead. Alex Hilbrun in the chase position. Alex already pushing hard. You can see doesn't get as deep as Juha does. And right here, Juha makes contact. He loses angle for a little bit, and then you can see surging forward, taking advantage of it there is Alex Hilbrun. So Ryan, the takeaways there from Juha making contact and what Alex needed to do in the chase.
So Juha, when he hit the wall, lost angle. He had to take a little bit of the angle out of the car. I think that was a fortunate thing for Heilbrun because Heilbrun was way off of outside zone 1, but it ended up working to his advantage because that got him closer to and out of the kind of the danger zone behind Rintanen at that point. So I think that Juha's error is going to be heavier weight just because of him being in the lead and making that mistake.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. So here we go. Juha Rintanen and Alex Hilbrun slide him right for Alex Hilbrun. Gets the win and advances on to the grade 8. All right, so already in the grade 8 is Alex Hilbrun, Dean Carnage Carney, and Odi Bakchis. Speaking of Odi, Lorette Nickel caught up with the grade 8 contender.
For a 100-point run, and Odi, when you're looking to do that, how conservative do you play it?
Well, we got in the groove really well. Unfortunately, I'd like to get in the groove during qualifying, but I feel like we're in the groove, so I'm trying to lay out the run that the judges want during my tandem runs. Even though there's someone chasing me, I'm trying to go wall-to-wall, massive angle, and I'm just giving it my best.
Yeah. Well, I heard you say that you were disappointed. In what?
Well, we qualified 8th, and, I felt like the car is really ample. I wanted to do better. I'll take 8. This is our first round. Things are shaky. I'll definitely take 8. I'm happy. But we're always striving for more.
Okay, Odi, best of luck.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, and we are back here. Thank you, Lorette. Good luck to you, Odi. The signature skyline of Long Beach here, and looks like we are seeing the second half of the Kristaps Blues Frederick Osbo battle, and Kristaps was at fault, so he would have to use his competition timeout, and he does have that disadvantage with him spinning and coming to a halt. All right, so here we go. The second half of this battle. Kristaps Blues, Frederick Osbo. The brand new Toyota Corolla IM hatchback. Norwegian Hammer. And Kristaps Blues, HGK Motorsports, his third season here, competing in the States. All right, so Kristaps throwing it in. Now review the judges. Getting after that touch and go. Man, blinding Osbo. Look at the amount of smoke that's coming off of Kristaps' car. Transitioning into that final front flip. And just wrapping around. Nice job. That was a ton of smoke coming off Kristaps' car.
You think he was trying to make a point there?
Yeah, right.
So obviously with Kristaps at fault, he was looking for Osbo to make an equal mistake. It doesn't look like Osbo does that, but Kristaps lets everybody know just how phenomenal of a driver he is here. This is probably the smokiest run that we've seen. He's pretty much on throttle the whole time, that snappy transition back around. He doesn't hit outer zone 2, but Ryan, obviously this is more to come for Kristaps Blues throughout the year.
It is, yeah. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with out there. You just saw that lap. Yeah, he's capable of doing that while filling all the zones. So he has that new car waiting in the wings. I don't know when we're going to see it, but we'll see how the three of us here will judge independently and figure out who wins.
All right, so with Kristaps having that mistake there on the first portion of this battle, Kristaps and Osbo. And there it is. Frederick Osbo gets the victory. Frederick Osbo advances on. So Frederick Osbo advances on into the Great Eights. We are halfway through our top 16. James Dean, Mike Essa. James Dean hasn't seen FD competition in a minute. All right. James Dean, Michael Essa. James Dean, your number 2 qualifier, the 2JZ powered Wordhouse Drift Team S15. Michael Essa. Ready to throw down. Here we go. This should be a fun one to watch. Essa looking really smooth. Not as violent, driving as we've seen before from Michael Essa. Looking very smooth. And as is James Dean. I mean, he's really making a lot of noise here. Here we go. James Dean, Michael Essa. And James Dean advance on through the former Formula 2 champion of Essa. Transitioning. Oh, my goodness. Tapping the wall. You see him make a correction, but he steps back out, stays in it. Now transitions into that final front clip, and Essa wraps it around. He loops it. Michael Essa loops it around that final front clip, and that will be advantage James Dean.
Well, seeing some real excitement here as James, again, continuing to impress, really deep into that touch and go, smooth transition over. Now he loses a little bit of angle by touching that first outer zone, but he gets back into the second outer zone. Now Essa here surges forward. He's got angle in the car, but he can't hold it all the way around. Is that what happened to Michael Essa there in that last turn, Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a gorgeous run from Dean up in the lead, other than the slight straightening after the wall hit. But you could see the level of comfort he has in his car on this track, even though he hasn't been here in years. So Essa, in this case, when he's leading right now, he's going to have to hope for a mistake from Dean in the chase position to have any chance of moving forward now. If Dean just puts together a decent chase run, it's going to be really hard for Essa now to move forward. So I bet he's hoping for a mistake from Dean in the chase.
I mean, there's a lot of expectations from James Dean, but man, if he comes out just swinging and he podiums on his first, re-entry back into Formula Drift, it's really gonna shake things up, and it just speaks volume of his talent.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we'll see here how he can do in his very first chase of the afternoon, being that he had his bye in run number 1, or excuse me, the top 32.
All right, so Essa will now lead. James Dean will give chase.
So we've seen a great qualifying run from Dean, two great qualifying runs. We've seen a great lead run here. Now this is his first opportunity to chase. What do you expect out of him here?
I think he's going to really shine right now. I mean, Essa, he's seen Essa drive before. I know that Peter and James were doing a lot of recce missions last year, meaning they were coming to the events and watching, spectating, so they know how Michael Essa can drive. So I think he's really going to push hard, and he's going to be on his door.
You think you're going to get a 100% here because of Essa spinning out, or you think you're going to get a little bit of calculation?
I think he's going to push. I think he's going to go probably 75%. I think he wants to know the limits of his car and his chasing ability, but also play it safe and strategically, where you don't need to really just overcook it and spin himself. But I'm looking forward to, because if James Dean wins, the winner of this will do battle against Forsberg or Gucci, so that should be fun. So here we go, Michael Essa, James Dean. Michael Essa knows he needs to let it all hang out. He's doing just that. So there it is, James Dean giving himself a little bit of room. Pretty calculated there. Everybody shoving that out. It looks like that will be enough for James Dean unofficially to move on. We'll make it official momentarily as we take a look at it again. Essa, I mean, that was a great run, but unfortunately, because of his mistake in his chase run, that's going to be all she wrote.
Well, another very smoky run a la Christoph's Blues, and you can see just the Achilles, massive amounts of smoke. Essa known for his smoke shows. Big throttle here. You can see Dean keeping him within proximity here, but Ryan, as you know, this is pretty easy to follow here. Unless James Dean were to make an equal mistake as Michael Essa, he should be getting the win here in the top 16.
Yeah, exactly. You could tell how intense Essa was on that run just by the amount of smoke that's on the track. We can barely see anything, but you summed it up perfectly.
And here we go, Essa and Dean. Slide him left for Essa, right for Dean, and it's unanimous. James Dean gets the victory. James Dean gets the victory and advances on. James Dean advances on to the grade 8, so one step closer to, I mean, has anybody ever done that in their, I mean, Daigo, I guess, somebody like that, but coming out here. All right, so Lorette Nickel caught up with Matt Coffman.
In the top 32, unfortunately for Matt Coffman, he sustained some damage when Dan Burkett hit him. And Matt, are you worried about what this is going to cause you in the top 16?
No, not really. I'm just more bummed that it's not so beautiful anymore is really my biggest issue. But, I mean, he didn't, like, I told him, like, just if you're going to hit me, just don't hit my checkers. And so, like, he only hit one checker, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
All right, well, you're going up against Matt Field. What's your expectations there?
Me and Matt go way back. He was a judge in my Pro-Am series and so forth. Like, we used to butt heads so bad, just about dumb stuff. But, he's become a good friend of mine in this, and I'm so excited. We were both just try to go as ham as possible, and I know after all the years passed and whatnot, it all just adds up, and so I can't wait.
Good. Well, Matt, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt Coffman, definitely an exciting driver to watch. He's got that, you know, a lot of the guys going with V8s, but he's doing with he's got the Ford horsepower as opposed to the Chevy, and he is ready to do battle later with the, he says, ready to go against my homie Matt Field, so it should be fun. Here we go, Chris Forsberg, Ken Gucci. These are two Formula Drift veterans So two long-standing Formula Drift vets. Chris Forsberg will lead. Ken Gushi will give chase. Chris Forsberg qualified 7th. Ken Gushi qualified 10th. So here we go. Forsberg out of the chute. Back behind the wheel of the VK56. And the car is primed and ready to go. Forsberg using all the course. Gushi right there in the mix. Forsberg on the bridge. Ken Gushi really banging on Forsberg's door. Rolling into that final front clip is Forsberg and Gushi. Great execution by both these gentlemen of the sport.
Well, what I want to know here from Ryan is this a situation where Gushi made a couple sacrifices maybe online to stay close to Chris, and he was really able to maintain close proximity in very difficult parts of the course. Ryan, what's your take here as we take a look at this run here with Chris and Gushi?
Yeah, you can see that Ken Gushi was definitely off touch and go 1, but it got him in the right spot for outside zone 1, go through outside zone 2, and through the finish of the course. So now as we watch Chris in the chase position, we're going to have to see if he makes any sacrifices to maintain the same level of proximity. And if Chris wants to win, he's going to have to maintain the same amount of proximity, but fulfill the rest of the chase car's duties, which are to mimic the line and transition points as well.
All right, so let's alternate the order here. Ken Gushi will lead, and Chris Forsberg will give chase. All right, so here we go. Who's going to get it out of these titans of the sport, veterans of the sport? Like I said, Gushi's nickname was the future, but we are in the present, and Ken Gushi seems to be really dialed. The car's running strong. He's feeling confident. Chris Forsberg wants to debut that new engine. We'll hopefully see that VQ twin turbo setup at the second round in Orlando. And here we go. Gushi out front, Ready Performance Boost Brigade, next to tires. Forsberg giving chase, knocks into 370Z. Gushi a bit shallow off that touch and go. Now dropping into that second outer zone. Well played right now by both gentlemen coming into that final front clip. Gushi and Forsberg toe to toe. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, this is definitely something for the judges to think about. I think that Chris may have had the better lead in terms of the touch and go in outer zone 1, but Gushi certainly awesome in the chase position. Let's see if Chris here is able to do the same thing that Ken was in his chase. You can see Ken doesn't really get out to that touch and go. And Ryan, as you take a look at this run here, anything that stands out between the lead run and the chase from both drivers?
Well, I definitely think Chris had the better lead for the beginning part of the course, where he went really wide on the touch and go. He went wide on outside zone 1 and through outside zone 2. Now Ken, in his lead run, was off of the touch and go and maybe not quite as deep on outside zone 1. So you have to look at the way that Chris followed that, though. Comparing Gushi's chase to Chris's chase, I think Chris did a better job of mimicking the line, the angle, and the transition points of Gushi throughout the course.
All right, so judges finalizing their results, and we'll find out shortly who's advancing on. Here we go. Gushi and Forsberg. Slide him left for Gush. Slide him right for Forsberg. Brian, and there it is. It's unanimous. Chris the Force Forsberg gets the victory. Chris Forsberg gets the victory and advances on to the Great 8. What's funny is, Ryan, I think this is, for the fans that are here in person, I'm sensing some booing over there, but on this side right here on the judges stand, they're not booing because I think it really lied on that initiation on what Lontaine was just talking about.
Yeah, the first part of the run for Gushi on his lead was not that great. He had an incredible chase run, but Chris chased just as well, it sounded like, from Ryan's perspective, and coming down to that lead run versus the lead runs,
right,
it looked like it went in Chris's decision.
Here we go, Ryan Turk, Justin Pollock. All right, we're getting some fans about it right now. Ryan Turk, Justin Pollock. Fans are chanting one more time. Look at that. Well, unfortunately, it has been decided. Chris Forsberg advances on. Ken Gushi is unfortunately knocked out. So here we go. Ryan Turk will lead. Justin Pollock giving chase. Turk coming into view. Big angle there by Turk. Pollock diving in, getting aggressive. Justin Pollock right there, tucking in behind that Toyota. The Roush Performance Ford Mustang, blipping it. Sticking it to him throughout the course and then up until that final front clip. So let's take a look. Turk out front. Initiates, rolls into it. Watch Justin Pollock. He gets there on his door. So Justin's doing a great job chasing him down. But right here, this is where it gets a little interesting. Fontaine, what? Talk about any standout moments for you.
Well, right away, Justin had a bit of a bobble coming up to touch and go 1, and then after his transition to outside zone 1, he also had less angle and a bit of a correction there. Once he got over to the inside clip at the very finish of the course, his I don't know if it was another momentum thing or he just had his car in the wrong spot, but he wasn't able to make it around inside clip 1. Kind of straightened up a little bit, and actually twice, just before the clip and then right after it as well. So definitely a big mistake from Justin on that one. All Turek has to do in this case is follow cleanly in the chase and mimic whatever Justin is doing in the lead, have good proximity throughout the rest of the course, and Turek should be able to get the win if he's able to do that.
Yeah, yep. All right, well, thank you for the insight. As right now it will be Justin Pollock leading, Ryan Turk giving chase. I think JTP is going to throw down something pretty big here. He really goes for those aggressive transitions. So let's see how he does touch and go, but he was kind of having some difficulty when he would go to the touch and go, wouldn't totally get out to that first outer zone. But I think he's going to find a good level of compromise here. All right. All right, here we go. Here is Justin Pollock out front. Ryan Turk giving chase. Throwing it in. Here comes Justin Pollock. Let's see if he has that snappy, nasty transition. Good, actually fluid. Big angle from Pollock on the outside zone. Ryan Turk diving into that Falcon Tire smoke and just wrapping around that final Black Magic Intense Tire Shine front clip. Let's take a look at this again. I said usually Justin kind of has a nastier transition, but he kept it really clean, kept it fluid. Right here, just clean. I mean, that's nice, textbook. The other thing noted, didn't get all the way out to the outside zone. Other thing noted is Turk is right there, but Pollock had a great lead run. That would have been a high qualifying run, using the whole course. And here we go. So Pollock and Turk, slide them left for Pollock, right for Turk. And there it is. Ryan Turk gets the victory. He's advancing on. Ryan Turk advances on to the Great 8. All right, so we there was some contact between Osbo and Christos Blues. Lorette Nickel caught up with Osbo to talk about his side of the story.
Well, we just saw Frederick Osbo on the track, now moving on, and there was some contact on the track. Any damage sustained to your car?
No, I think our car is fine. Christoph's had a slight hit on my rear tire. I barely felt it, but I guess it spun him out. And our car is fine, the wheels are straight, and got back out there for the chase run, not doing any changes. But Christoph's got mad at me, and, it's tough, because I consider him a friend, and all I was trying to do was run a really hard, wide line, and I felt like that was one of our best runs this weekend. So I think he should, in fact, be mad at himself, But here we are, moving on, top 8, ready to continue this momentum we have.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of energy out here. It's the first round. So how safe do you play these runs out here?
you can't play it safe. You know, you got to go balls to the wall. And, you know, I try and pour on as much angle as I can. You know, I've been struggling a little bit all week and trying to bring it out to those walls. I finally was able to do it. You know, out of turn 1, into turn 2, through turn 2. It felt really good. So I feel like I'm getting situated in the new Corolla I am. You know, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I think it looks cool out there. Brings something different to the table, to the sport. So I'm having a lot of fun out there.
Frederick, best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we are back here. Once again, we are advancing on. This is the final battle of the top 16. This should, the battle of the Supreme Mats. Matt Coffman, Matt Field. These guys have seen battle against each other before. Matt Field got the victory, but the villain, Matt Coffman, he's ready to throw down. He's changed up his livery. He's got a new look, as does Matt Field. Kind of a throwback to an old school Falcon livery that we haven't seen in a few years, but with the signature neon floral yellow lip and handles. So let's see how Coffman does against Matt Field. Matt Field will be leading. No, excuse me, Coffman will be leading. Coffman qualified 6th, the score of 90, so he's definitely want to watch. That is a restart there. The red flag is out. Coffman had an insane rolling burnout there. All right, so let's see what Coffman's got against Field. Field against Coffman. I know, right? Oh, got the fans kicking off their own wave. Yeah, there it is. Going to the bridge, coming across the bridge. Oh, there you go. All right, start it again there. Here he comes. Here it comes. Get a wave going all around the whole venue. Coming to you. There we go. All right, it's going to the waterfront. It's going to the waterfront. Coming to you. There you go. Here we go. Coffman and Field. Rolling into it. Look at that huge angle from Coffman. Field shallowing up. Coffman crab walking through into that outer zone and the final front flip. Wow, I want to look at that again. Coffman, big angle there.
Well, a bit of a back and forth battle here as we take a look at our final battle in the top 16. Matt Coffman and Matt Field initiating close to the wall there is Coffman. Now, he doesn't really get out to the touch and go very far, Jarod, but does on that outer zone 1 a little bit late. You can see decent proximity here by Matt Field. And Ryan, what are you seeing between these two drivers as we wrap around this last inside flip?
You can tell that Matt's having some type of mechanical issue where he's not able to put all the power to the ground.
Which one? Which Matt?
Oh, sorry, Matt Field. Field in the chase position was not able to put the power to the ground the way that he wants to. His line isn't as wide as as Coffman's, and he also isn't getting the angle that Coffman is getting either. So you can tell that he's down on power. The engine, it's making some odd noises as he's getting on throttle. So he's at a disadvantage in that sense. Hopefully he's able to put together a clean lead run here so he can have a fair opportunity to put down a lead run. But in the chase position, he was definitely having some issues.
You know what I guarantee? You know who's going to win? I can guarantee who's going to win. Matt's going to win.
Dang.
All right, so Matt Field, Matt Coffman. Here we go. Field will now lead. He is your most recent victor. I mean, given that this is round 1, but he had the victories in both Texas and Irwindale, the final 2 rounds of last year's season. Here we go. Matt Field out front. Throwing in. Getting out to the touch and go. Good execution. Coffman not getting all the way out there. Chasing him down. And coming into that final front clip. Pushing him around. Nice job. Matt Coffman really looking strong.
Yeah, Matt Coffman had some shining moments last year in 2016. Montreal, Seattle, certainly looking like he is putting together a good program here this year. One of the few drivers that, not too many changes to the vehicle, just trying to strengthen up his program from where he left off. And you can see as Field wraps around that second outer zone. Right here, Coffman dives in. Ryan, what's your take from run number 2?
Yeah, a couple of times you can see Field's car straighten up, just lose a little bit of angle as the engine was making some odd noises. He managed to get a run together pretty good through touch and go 1 and outside zone 1, but past outside zone 2, you could see the car start to lose angle, and it was harder for him to keep the car sideways. Past inside clip 1 to the finish line, definitely had a hard time keeping it sideways.
All right, so here we go. Matt Field, Matt Coffman. Slide him right for Coffman, slide him left for Field. And Brian says Coffman, Ryan says, oh, Andy says one more time. And Ryan says, Matt Coffman gets the win. Matt Coffman advances on to the Great 8. So, taking a look, the top 16 is over. Now we are going to enter into the Great 8. We got Dean Carnage Carney versus Odi Bakchis. Osbo with Hilbrun. We got James Dean versus Forsberg. Oh, that's going to be a good one. Turk and Coffman. So, right now, Lorette Nickel caught up with the Formula Drift, let's call him a recontender, James Dean.
When I asked him how did it go for him, he said insane, and I think that adrenaline is still pumping through you.
Yeah, especially when I just got the news that my next battle is against 2016 champion Chris Forsberg, so I'll take that. For my first FD event back in 7 years, that's better than what I could ever ask for. So we're going to push hard, see what happens. Yeah, man, it's a dream weekend for me so far.
I'm so glad. But you just told me that your run against Michael Essa, you were experiencing brake problems. What was happening?
Yeah, so for my lead run, everything was fine. I initiated, got onto the first touch and go, transition back, and I touched the wall under the bridge a little too hard, had a small correction, but managed to keep it going. And into the final corner, Michael spun. So I had a big advantage for that. And when I was chasing, when I was going back to the start line, I noticed my brake pedal was, like, had half of the travel was free play. So didn't know what it was. We had no time to fix it, so took a chance. Managed to get through the run with very little braking power, and yeah, we're moving on to Grade 8, so this is just crazy. We got the braking issue fixed, thanks to the guys, the team, working very hard to keep us on track all weekend, so bring on top 8.
Okay, Dean, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
James Dean, ladies and gentlemen.
Right on. Thank you, James Dean. Thank you, Lorette Nickel. And, man, James is he's on it, man. He just seems really humbled. He's pretty stoked, and, yeah, it's great to see him back out here again in Formula Drift competition. I mean, he's 6'6". He's a tall dude, 180 pounds, skinny, tall dude, and he's going against the champion when we come back. The Grade 8 is kicking off. So our Grade 8 is shaped. We're going to take a short 90-second break. That's a minute and a half, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, more Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. All right, welcome back. We are live here at the streets of Long Beach, the O'Reilly Auto Parts streets of Long Beach. Round 1 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Also, if you're in Grandstand 21, that's the single out in the kind of middle of the track. Those are dedicated grandstand seats. Unfortunately, security might have told you different. They are assigned seating. So if you're there without the proper ticket, we ask you to please find another seat to the general admission area, as the Grandstand 21 are reserved seats. So please move to let the ticket holders have their respective seats. So our Grade 8 is set. Ryan, let's take a look at it. Dean Carney versus Odi Bakchis. Who do you got?
Well, this is definitely going to be a very interesting battle. We've got the that big heavy car of Dean's, and Odi looking very comfortable in his old chassis. It's kind of a coin toss there. Dean really was very strong against Vaughn Jr., the number 1 qualifier, so he may have momentum on his side, but Odi is one of the best chase drivers in the business, so these guys are 1-1 right now, and this will be a deciding battle.
Frederick Osbo and Alex Hilbrun. That's going to be a good one.
Well, I think Alex has certainly shown that he's willing to throw caution to the wind especially on outer zone 1, and I think that has been the big difference in a lot of battles so far, outside zone 1 and then down at the hairpin. So I think if Alex is able to do what he was doing in the previous runs, he's going to have a good shot there.
The battle of the champions on the other side. You got James Dean. He's pumped to go against Chris Forsberg. Who do you have? I mean, James Dean looks pretty unstoppable right now.
Yeah, he does, and it's really hard to bet against him right now, even with a 3-time champion. So we'll see what happens there. But a great battle there. I mean, just knowing that these 8 guys right here, one of these 8 guys is going to be the leader of the series coming out of this event.
Right, and then Ryan Turk and Matt Coffman. That should be fun. Those guys, they've been transporting around in previous seasons. Now they're not. They're in different teams. All right, so here we go. This is Odi Bakchis out front and Dean Carnage Carney giving chase. Our first battle of the Grade 8, the Nos Train Grade 8. Odi getting all the way out there. Oh, good transition from both the guys. Into the rear clipping zone goes Odi and Dean. Pretty flawless run here. Oh, and just as he takes out that front clip. So mistake there by Odi Bakchis. Narrowing in on that final front clip.
Well, really tremendous synchronization here by both drivers, and Dean especially taking kind of the lead here as he's trying to mimic Odi. Watches as Odi hits this touch and go here, right there, both transitioning right about the same time. You can see Dean trying to close the door here. Ryan, how is Odi doing in the lead, and was Dean able to chase him down here towards the end?
Yeah, Dean did a great job in the chase, as you said. He was really mimicking Odi's transitions, his line, everything. Dean's doing a great job in a car that he claims is less capable than the new one, so can't wait to see him in that new car. But Odi did a great job in the lead as well. I didn't see any major mistakes from him. Maybe a bit of a slowdown just before inside clip 1. That gave Dean the opportunity to really get right inside.
So Dean will be out front. Odi will be giving chase. All right, so here we go. We have Dean Carnage Carney out front. He will be leading. All right, as you can hear in the background, Pat giving the sending car signal, and here we go. Odi Bakchis will be chasing. And leaving that start line. Dean kind of a delay there, getting to that first initiation, but now here they come. All the way outside, touch and go, good transition from Dean. Odi Bakchis on the door of the Viper. Is he allowing enough room? Yes, he does. Look at Odi. I mean, sometimes just when he's on fire, it's unbelievable what Bakchis can do.
Yeah, he certainly has become one to watch the past few years, and he's showing a great example here. And Dean as well, just coming out very strong here. You can see nice initiation here. Odi not letting him get away too much. You can see Dean does a pretty decent job on that touch and go, then transitioning back around. Odi's trying to stick with him. You can see Odi close the door a little bit here on outer zone 2, and then Ryan on the latter section of this course. What are some of the standout moments for you?
They're really looking pretty comparable from lead to lead and chase to chase. Dean might have made a slight mistake coming just past inside clip 1 to the finish line. Kind of hard to see in the replay because of the smoke, but pretty similar leads and chases here from both drivers.
So we're hearing some fans chanting one more time here in the stands. What do you think? Do we have a winner in either? Who thinks Odi Bakchis advances on? Pretty loud. How many people think Dean Carnage Carney advances on? And how many people think one more time? All right, pretty collective cheering there. And the judges were reviewing a run there. It looks like the verdict is in. Slide him left for Dean, slide him right for Bakchis. And there it goes. Brian says Odi. Ryan says one more time. And Andy says one more time. They're going at it again. So, Ryan Lantagne, you and Andy said one more time. Your reasoning or justification behind that?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, they really had similar leads and chases to me, so I really couldn't see a standout at either side. Little tiny mistakes were made by both here and there, but nothing too glaring. So I'd like to see them go again, and for one guy to really prove that he's better than the other.
All right, so here we go. We are seeing Frederick Osbo versus Alex Hilbrun. This should be a pretty fun one to watch. These guys have never seen competition against each other, Osbo and Hilbrun, which is, I'm not totally surprised, but for some reason I thought they had gone against each other. But, man, Alex, he could really apply the pressure here, too. The FD champion of 2015. Alex Hilbrun. All right, good early initiation there from Osbo. Alex chasing him down. You've seen that Toyota Corolla very settled as Hilbrun. Some wavering on initiation, having to fall back a little bit there is Alex, but then he reels him back in.
So a bit of smoke lingering here from these two guys. Hilbrun laying down a big plume there. We see Frederick Osbo leaving out of the gate, now down into initiation and turn 9, heading towards this touch and go. You can see Osbo out there with some big angle, transitioning back around. So Ryan right there, that touch and go in outer zone 1, seems pretty good from Osbo. Hilbrun trying to keep him in tow here. How do you do on the latter part of the course?
Yeah, Osbo was super clean, really big angle at touch and go 1, really wide out to the wall. But you could see that Hilbrun in the chase position wasn't able to match his line, his angle, and kind of had a little twitch there, a little bobble from the car. But he did set up good for outside zone 1 and throughout the rest of the course. So that's an area of opportunity for Osbo in the chase position to do better than Hilbrun. But Hilbrun's going to have to put together a really solid lead run to match what Osbo just put down.
All right, Alex out front. Osbo giving chase. And we are clear to send. Alex, a Pro 2 champion. Not only podiumed every round, but won every round a few years ago. And now has been banging away in Pro, and that car is just seeming to be really dialed. So Hilbrun leading, Osbo giving chase, and here we go, send it. Coming into view of the judges just now. And there we go, into that touch and go. Alex using all the course. Osbo shoring up. And Hilbrun using all the course. Unbelievable, great execution. I mean, if that was a qualifying run, Alex Hilbrun would have put down a solid score there. Let's take a look at this again here, Ryan. I mean, Alex had he used all of the course.
Well, if you were questioning whether or not the Corolla IM was going to be competitive, I think that kind of answered a lot of the questions there. That was Alex Hilbrun laying down a very solid, quick and fast lead run with a lot of smoke and unable to shake Frederick Osbo throughout the majority of the course here. You can see on this last transition here, Ryan Osbo dives in, barely comes close to hitting him, but stays very, very close, and a great bit of driving there.
Yeah, you could see that Osbo had a really clean chase run. He might have done a better job just because he didn't make a couple of the mistakes that Hilbrun did in the chase. But definitely Hilbrun, he had either as good a run as Osbo in the lead position or better. He was as wide as Osbo everywhere. He might have been more committed throttle-wise and just angle-wise throughout the course, throwing the car with what looked like kind of a reckless abandon, but he was able to just hold it together throughout the course.
All right, so we are waiting for the verdict here between Hilbrun and Osbo. And here we go, Hilbrun and Osbo. Slide him left for Hilbrun, slide him right for Osbo. And Brian says Osbo. Ryan says one more time, and Andy says one more time. So they're going at it again. All right, so as we are seeing two one more times back-to-back, just shows you just the level of driving is just starting to equalize here as we are here in the Grade 8 and 2 battles in. We still don't have anybody in the Final 4. Before that, Laurent Nico caught up with Chris Forsberg, who is in our next battle going against James Dean.
Chris Forsberg told me that he felt that he was strongest at the lead run, so tell us why.
Yeah, I feel like that we got the car really down. I have a lot of experience here at Long Beach, and we're filling the zones, and that's what the judges want to see. Give solid 100-point chaseable lead runs, and they are rewarding it because you can't give a good chase if you don't have a good lead. And so we're out there doing our thing in the front and also giving good proximity in the chase position.
Okay. Any adaptations that you've had to make to the car?
No, this car is, it was built identically to my previous car that I drove for the past 4 years. And with the exception of 1 or 2 very minor things that we just dialed out by the time we got here. You know, just setting up our alignments and such for Long Beach versus Irwindale, where it came from. And yeah, I mean, it's on point, 100%.
Okay, moving forward, you're going to be battling James Dean. Any expectations?
I mean, he's a ripper. He's all eyes are on him, so to speak. And so this will be a good battle. And yeah, I know he's great. He's consistent. He's fast. He's smooth. And so I haven't driven against him, not only in practice, but in 5 or 6 years. Last time when he was in an S15 in Formula Drift back in 2010, but that was ages ago. It barely even counts now. So yeah, it's a whole new ball game, and we're gonna see, you know, let the best man win.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we are live and we are back, and here is who we got here. So, believe this should be, is this the one more time revisiting? It is James Dean and Forsberg? Okay, I just want to confirm. So, James Dean, Chris Forsberg. James Dean qualified second, so he will be leading in front of, qualifying 7th is Chris Forsberg, defending champion in that NOS Energy 370Z. You guys have not seen competition together against each other, even in previous years. And again, Chris warming up his hand-cooked tires. See James Dean patiently waiting on the start line. .2JZ S15. That's what Dean is piloting, this Wordhouse drifting team. Peter Vincek, his teammate, up here watching on, as he has already been knocked down, unfortunately, but he's cheering him on. Can James Dean take it all the way to the top? He's got to get through a 3-time champion, Chris Forsberg. All right, here we go. Higher power. Getting ripped. Here we go. James Dean out front. Chris Forsberg giving chase. What's going to unfold? Here we go. James Dean all the way out to the outer zone. Wow, wall to wall of James Dean. Chris Forsberg diving in on that Falcon tire smoke, transitioning around that final clip. Makes some noise for Dean and Forsberg. Is that what you expected, Ryan?
Well, I mean, James Dean continues to impress. I mean, he is laying down some of the most solid lead runs we've seen, you know, starting all the way back in qualifying and continuing to up the ante. Forsberg, on the other hand, pretty much stuck with him the entire way. Now, check this out as you come into this touch and go. Dean's going to get super close here with great angle, very smooth transition. I mean, perfect right there. But look, Forsberg is right with him. Ryan, what's your takeaway here from run number 1 between these two great competitors?
Fantastic lead, fantastic chase. If I'm going to start nitpicking, though, Chris was a little bit off of the outside zone 1 with the back of his car. He was a little bit inside, so that's a little area of opportunity for Dean when he's chasing. Now, it's going to be up to Chris to put together an equivalent lead run or better to keep his chances, you know, alive, if you will, as it will be for Dean to put together as good as of a chase or better to try to avoid a one more time from these two drivers.
All right, so let's see who's going to advance on. Forsberg will now lead. Dean will give chase. The winner of this battle goes into the Final Four. And James Dean, if he makes it into the Final Four, he's guaranteed a podium because third place is decided by qualifying. He's the highest finishing qualifier. So if he makes it into the Final Four, and if he goes through Chris Forsberg, he is guaranteed at minimum third place. Forsberg. Forsberg leading. Dean giving chase. Are we going to have a dominant driver? Are we going to see another one more time like we've seen? James Dean right there on the door. Forsberg all the way out to touch and go. Doesn't go. Oh, shallow on that outside zone. James Dean right on the door of Forsberg. Mirroring him everywhere he goes. Gives him just enough room. Transitions back. James Dean dominated on that chase run.
Well, it's getting pretty exciting around here. That was a really fun battle to watch. You knew it was going to come down to that run after Ryan pretty much had that first run equal, maybe a little bit towards favor of Dean. But look at Dean right here. It initiates already right next to Forsberg. Now, Forsberg doesn't really get out to that touch and go or the first outer zone. And Dean is just sticking with him. Now, right here, Ryan, Dean falls back a second. He almost surges forward past Chris, falls back for a second, but then tucks right back in. Interpret that little last section of the course for us.
So it looked like there may have been contact on initiation. It looked like Dean got right inside, and maybe the back of his car hit the back of Dean's car, or Forsberg's car, right at initiation. I don't know if that had anything to do with Chris missing the touch and go slightly, but near the end of the course. So here we go as we're taking another look of the initiation. Watch the back of Dean's car and watch Chris's car right there. It looked like Chris went a little bit more angle quite suddenly, so there might have been a little tap right there. Didn't affect either of them too much, it looks like. Right here, though, it looks like Chris may have made some sort of little mistake right there that caused Dean to have to really back off. We're going to have to check that out a little bit closer.
Yeah, but look how quickly he caught up to him. I mean, that was a great execution there by James Dean. So contact seen there by Lontaine. And did it, you know, we've talked about this, you know, is it impact or is it kind of race incident? Like, you know, basically the different scenarios of collision or, you know, impeding.
Well, basically, you know, in drifting in general, we accept the fact that cars are going to touch each other, and if they touch each other to a point to where the action stops, we call that a collision, or if a vehicle is pushed offline, we call that a collision. If there's contact and nothing happens, the judges will judge it as they see it. Oftentimes, you may have some damage to a vehicle that needs to be addressed after the fact, and if that happens, we've got provisions in the rule book to address that. But in this particular case, I think that the run will be judged as is, based on what the judges saw on course.
All right. And the judges are taking a look. Remember, we don't have anybody in the Final Four. We have the two one more times, and the fans wanted them, but Dean and Odi. All right, so again, we still have one more times, the two one more time battles of Osbo and Hilbrun, and Dean Kearney and Odi Bakchis, and then also Ryan Turk and Matt Coffman have yet to go against each other. So here we go. Can James Dean defeat the three-time defending FD champion Chris Forsberg? Here we go. Slide him right for James Dean, and James Dean gets the victory unanimously. James Dean advances on. He's in the Final Four, and again, he is guaranteed a podium. We do not have a third place battle. That is decided with basically the losers bracket. It's decided by the highest qualifying driver, and James Dean he qualified number 2 with Vaughn Gittin Jr. out. He qualified number 1. So at minimum, James Dean will be third place. All right, Dean Carney called the competition time out, so we will be going to the Osbo-Hilbrun one more time battle. So again, Dean Carney calls competition timeout, meaning he has a 5-minute allotment to go against Odi Bakchis, and Osbo and Hilbrun will be going against each other. All right, you can see Osbo. He will be leading. Hilbrun giving chase. Osbo, Rockstar Energy Drink. Nexon Tires, Toyota Corolla IM. Alex Hilbrun, Nitto Tires, IMR Racing, BMW. Throws it in. Here comes Osbo in that Toyota Corolla IM. Get all the way out to touch and go. Here comes Hilbrun. Shallows up. Way offline is Hilbrun, unfortunately. But Osbo keeps pace. Continues through the course, and Hilbrun made a big mistake there. That's going to hurt him. So let's take a look at it again. Ryan Osbo really getting out to that touch and go, but he still did get out to the rear clipping zone.
Well, this time a bit more dramatic here in terms of the difference between Osbo and Hilburn. Hilburn right here on the inside. You can see he gets really tight on that line. Ryan, what happened there as he transitioned from outer zone number 1 into the outer zone number 2?
So he had the right transition point. He was mimicking Osbo's line, his transition. Everything was really going well for him. It's just the way that he threw the car. He didn't quite have the push to get it out wide to outside zone 1. And that really got him on the inside line. So here we go again with another look at this run. So you can see he got out there with Osbo, transitioned at the same time, but he ended up getting way on the inside. Huge e-brake pull to try to get the car back out wide as Osbo, but never really got it out there until right around past outside zone 2 point. And then he was nice and close to the end, but at that point the mistake's already made, so he's going to have to hope for a pretty big error on Osbo's part in his chase run.
Let's see where they land right now with Osbo chasing down Hilbrun. All right, we are sending cars here. Hilbrun will lead, Osbo giving chase. All right, so here we go. Hilbrun will lead. Osbo gives chase. Initiating. Hilbrun. Yeah. Tapping the back bumper. Oh, and there's a mistake by Osbo. So look at that. The same point that Hilbrun made a mistake, Osbo does as well. And bringing around that final clip. So the same mistake made by both drivers, but it looked to be even more abrupt by Osbo.
Well, let's take a look at this again here. You can see great job right there on initiation by Hilburn, really staying close to that wall. And look at that, I mean, incredible there. Doesn't really affect his line. Osbo on the inside here, so kind of a similar situation to what you said. A great lead run out front from Alex Hilburn, and then Osbo tucking up on the inside here towards the latter part. And both guys crossing the finish line. Ryan, what's your impression of that second run?
Well, I'd have to say that Osbo's mistake looked a lot worse than Hilbrun's. Hilbrun might have had a slightly poorer line, but Osbo actually lost angle for quite a portion of time there. Not enough to give him an incomplete, but definitely enough to make it make us look twice at this whole thing again here. We're going to have to kind of watch this replay again. Take a look at his transition as he goes from touch and go. Right there, he straightens up, drives straight, and almost reinitiates again. So that is a pretty big error on Osbo's part.
All right, so we are waiting to see what happens here with Osbo and Hilbrun. Both of them making similar mistakes. And here we go. Slide him left for Hilbrun, right for Osbo. Who's going to the final four? Brian says one more time. Ryan says Alex Hilbrun, and Andy says Alex Hilbrun takes down Frederick Osbo, and Alex Hilbrun takes down the Toyota Corolla IM, the Rockstar Engineering Nexen tires. Alex Hilbrun on Nitto tires lights him up, and he's going to the final four. All right, so here we are. This looks like we are seeing, I believe that's Ryan Turk. Yep, Ryan Turk, Matt Coffman. This will be pretty exciting. These guys have never seen competition against each other. 2 JZ powered Toyota GT86, Toyota Racing GT86. I might add to Ryan Turk's Gum Out Nameless Performance package. Matt Coffman. Next in tires, Coffman Racing 959, Roush Ford powered S13. All right, so and here we go. Ryan Turk out front, Matt Coffman giving chase. Simultaneous initiation. Coming down the pipe. Turk gets all the way out to the touch and go. Coffman not all the way out. Turk filling the second rear clipping zone. Tightening up is Coffman. Oh, and we see contact. Contact between Coffman and Turk. A big door slap by Coffman into the passenger side of Ryan Turk.
Well, we're starting to see some trends here. We've seen some action on initiation, some action here on outer zone 1, and then down at the hairpin. It seems like that's where a lot of things coalesce in terms of people having contact with each other. Let's take a look at Turk here at Matt Coffman. Run number 1 of the Great 8. Turk, good angle there, staying pretty deep into touch and go 1 and outer zone 1. Good movement here, back around. And then right here, Lantane, what happens on this last little hairpin here?
Well, it looked like Coffman, as he came past outside zone 2, he sort of got a little bit slowed down before the transition for the touch and go 2, but he surged forward after that. So as you watch here, coming around in this area, he wasn't doing great, let's say. He wasn't doing bad. He had good proximity, but he wasn't filling the zones as he should have. Right here, he kind of fell back and then surged forward, but I think he surged forward a little too aggressively. Turk was in his full rights there to slow down as he was coming around that inside clip, which is what everybody does, and then they accelerate away. But Coffman was trying to make up some ground and just miscalculated and got into Ryan Turk's door.
All right, so reviewing Ryan Turk and Coffman, you see him right there taking that contact. So Coffman at fault. They are deeming fault there to Matt Coffman. So Ryan Turk, if needed be, he can inspect his car to make sure it's all up to snuff. So it looks like Matt Coffman. Looks like he's calling a competition timeout. All right, so it is confirmed. Matt Coffman, you saw him quickly going through the course. He is headed to the pit, the hot pit area. He's going to inspect his car, make sure it's all good. He is at fault, but so he does need to utilize his competition timeout, his one and only one, but no better time to use it than now. So Ryan Turk can't step outside of his vehicle and take a look because of Matt Coffman being at fault of the contact. So, as Ryan was saying, yeah, as the event progresses, you're seeing some trends really forming here as far as where the aggressiveness comes out and the mistakes can be made. So here you can see Coffman getting the car up on the lift, gonna check it out, see what's going on, make sure everything is okay, because that front left there, that's the side that went into the side of Ryan Turk. So there's Turk. All right, so Coffman's team, 959, necks and tires. All right, so it seems that, all right, looks like it's quickly done. So pretty sure they just wanted to confirm that everything was okay. You didn't want to go out there and potentially have a broken arm and you go to throw it in and your car is just not there and you write off the whole car. So, you know, some exciting news for James Dean. He advances on. He's guaranteed a podium. Lorette Nickel had some more words with the Irish driver.
Well, guys, it turns out that dreams do actually come true, as James Dean has been working for years to get back here, and you just told me that you put the best run down against Chris Forsberg. Walk us through it.
Yeah, for sure. When you're up against the best drivers in the world, you have to put it all down, and I knew he was going to push to the limits, and luckily for me, I pushed as hard as I could, even beyond what I could, and managed to put down the best lead run of the weekend for me, and oh man, insane. We chased him. He was close to me all the way through. My turn to chase, and I chased him as hard as I could go. He's really fast, and I knew I had to give it everything. Almost pushed too hard, but it just worked out. And what are we doing in top 4? I have no idea. It's crazy.
You just said that you maybe pushed it a little bit too hard, or you could have. How do you start backing that down and controlling that?
Well, I guess you have to risk it all when you're battling the best, and that's what I did. Luckily it paid off, but it could have easily just went wrong. But yeah, I'm glad I decided to push as hard as I could.
Great job.
Thank you very much. Dreams come true.
All right, thank you, Lorette. Thank you, James Dean. We're going to take a quick break here, gather our thoughts as the action continues and are, kind of going to some commercials, because we're seeing a lot of action, a lot of carnage already ensue here, but we are narrowing down who's going to get on the podium. We'll find out before dinner time. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break, and we'll come back here to round 1 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. All right, welcome back. We are here advancing on through the Great 8 to find out who's in the Final 4. So we've seen one half of Turk and Coffman. We saw Coffman get in the side of Turk, so he calls competition timeout. The car's up and running. So now Coffman will lead. Turk will give chase to find out who advances and goes against Dean Carnage Carney. So, again, Coffman will lead. Ryan Turk will give chase. We have already seen one half of the battle, and that was contact between Turk and Coffman. And we are ready to send cars. So, already in the Final 4, Alex Hilbrun and James Dean. Who is Hilbrun going to go against? We'll find out. Dean Carney or Odi Bakchis. And then James Dean's going against one of these gentlemen, Ryan Turk or Matt Coffman. Here we go. Send it. Matt Coffman initiating. All the way out to the touch and go. Nice shot. Really hanging it out there. Ryan Turk on the door of Coffman. And Turk, you can see him checking up there to wrap it around. Really interesting line there. Watch how long Coffman hangs it out in the touch and go. He treated it almost and filled the rear clipping zone, but it was a touch and go.
Well, here you see the initiation from Matt Coffman. Turk looking for an opportunity here to get close, coming off the touch and go. Doesn't reach out as far as Coffman does on the touch and go, but much better positioning here. And then a little bit of straightening there, Ryan Lantain from Turk, outside of outer zone number 2. What happened there?
Yeah, he definitely was not on the right line through that area and had to correct with the e-brake to try to maintain angle while being on that tighter line that made him, almost pass Coffman if he had kept going in that way. So he had to really try to maintain his distance in that area, but that mistake still doesn't outweigh the incomplete that Coffman had on his lead run, or sorry, on his chase run, the previous run.
Okay, all right, let's go to the judges. Here we go. Slide him left for Coffman, slide him right for Ryan Turk. And Ryan Turk gets the victory unanimously. Ryan Turk advances on. He's going against James Dean in the finals, and Ryan Turk qualified 3rd. So, all right, so if you haven't already, please download the Formula Drift app. Here are the details: live scoring, alert, and stats, exclusive FD content, breaking news alerts, get notifications, access to the free live stream, ability to buy tickets, FD fan rewards program, exclusive games and contests, special video features. Download for Apple or Android. Go to Formula D and find the Formula Drift app. Also, if you have the app, go ahead, put in the code FD1 and you'll get 50 points. So 50 points already. So if you have the app already, type in FD1 and you'll receive 50 complimentary points. So 3 drivers already in the Final 4. And here's the final battle of the Great Eight. Qualifying. All right, so here is our final battle. All right, so here we go. Dean Carnage Carney and Odi Bakchis. Odi will lead. Higher qualifying driver. Qualifying 8th. Here we go. Big entry there from Odi. Good transition for both the drivers. Yeah, Odi getting to the outside zone. Dean allowing himself enough room to transit. Oh, and really centering that Black Magic Intense Tire Shine front clip. Let's take a look at this again.
So after the one more time and the competition timeout from Dean Kearney, we finally get this battle underway here. Odi Bakchis taking the lead. Dean Kearney in tow. Odi sweeping out wide to that touch and go. Dean right there, good transition back around, keeping him in tow. But Ryan, as we enter this last section of the course, it looks like Dean just on his final transition approach to this last inside clip comes up a little tight there.
Yeah, it looked like he transitioned a little bit early and didn't quite have the momentum to carry him out around that inside clip. And he hit it with the center of his front bumper. We're usually pretty lenient on, the edge of the front bumper, just kind of tapping it, grazing it, even if you kind of knock it out of place. But in that case, he actually centered into the front of the car and it wrapped around to the other side. So that was a bit, I would say, a significant misjudgment on the line in that case.
All right, let's see how Dean. I mean, he took down Castro, Vaughn getting Jr., and now he's going against Odi. Odi took down Cameron Moore, and he did take down Peter Vinchek. So these guys have definitely seen some major competition to this point. Let's see how Dean does out front. All right, so here we go. Dean Kearney will lead. Odi Bakchis giving chase. The winner going against Alex Hilbrun from Peru. All right, here we go. You see him through the start chicane. Dean Kearney initiating. There goes Odi Bakchis simultaneously. All the way out to the touch and go. Transitioning is Dean. Odi right there on the door of the Dodge Viper. A great chase run there. Look at Odi Bakchis. Absolutely possessed driving by Bakchis. Right on the door of that Dodge Viper.
Well, tremendous job here from Odi Bakchis. Certainly doing what you need to do in the chase position after a strong lead run here. Dean coming out right here, going very deep into that touch and go. Good transition back around. This is a solid lead run from Dean, but Odi right there, not letting him walk away. Ryan, what's your impression here on run number 2?
I think that Odi did an amazing job in the chase position. That's one of the most consistently close runs that we've seen in terms of proximity and mimic all the way throughout the course. That was fantastic. Carney, on the other hand, laid together a really amazing lead run. He did a better job than Odi did through the touch and go and outside zone 1. He was closer to the wall. Odi's back tire was right around that, not quite over the red line, but Dean was over the red line. So he was closer to the wall in both respects there. I think the rest of the course, they were kind of even. But Dean does have that error that he made during his chase run, so that has to be considered as well.
All right, remember, next weekend, buy your tickets now for the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. We'll be back out here Friday and Saturday night, and we're not just doing qualifying. We're doing a top 16 both Friday night and Saturday night. So you're going to be seeing competition both evenings, Friday and Saturday, all part of the festivities. 6 events going down at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach next weekend. We'll be back out here again, myself, Ryan Sage, and a lot of the drivers. So again, we'll have a top 16 competition Friday and Saturday night. Here we go. Dean Carnage Carney, Odi Bakchis. Who's going against Alex Hilbrun, the final driver in the Final Four? Well, are we going one more time? Ryan says Odi Bakchis, and Andy says Odi Bakchis gets the win. Odi advances on and is going to the finals. He's going against Alex Hilbrun. Hats off to Dean and his team. They worked feverishly throughout the weekend. They worked hard. But Odi just definitely put down a solid chase, and I think that was the moment of greatness there for Odi. So our Final Four is set. Odi Bakchis versus Alex Hilbrun. James Dean versus Ryan Turk on the other side of the bracket. Top four up next here at round one of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Welcome back. The Final Four is set. Who's going to get on the podium? Well, it's guaranteed that James Dean and Ryan Turk will be on the podium. Because if James Dean wins, Ryan Turk gets third place. If Ryan Turk wins, James Dean gets third place. So on the other side of the bracket, you'll have Odi Bakchis and Alex Hilbrun. They qualified 5th and 8th. So now, yeah, Alex Hilbrun qualified 5th and Odi Bakchis qualified 8th. So here we go. James Dean initiates into, whoa. Look at that smoke coming up the back there. James Dean, Ryan Turk. Filling that rear flipping zone is James Dean. Into the second one, transitioning through. Here comes Ryan Turk. Chasing him down all the way around that final flip. Makes some noise for James Dean and Ryan Turk.
Well, it definitely seems like it's going to take something really special to curb the momentum that James Dean has right now. These lead runs he's been doing have been so consistent. I mean, it's basically the same thing every time. Deep on the touch and go. Deep into outer zone one. Now, Ryan Turk, on the other hand, is sticking with him here. Both guys leave outer zone two. Right there, Turk, almost a little understeer there. It looked like in the shadows, but able to close the door there towards the end. Ryan, what's your take?
The only issue I saw in the chase from Turk was between outside zone 2 and inside clip 1. It looked like he had lower angle, and on his transition, it was a little bit slow, and he might have kind of paused that little angle there as he transitioned. But other than that, super clean run from James in the lead position. Turk did a good job up until that point in the chase. So Dean does have an opportunity where if he doesn't make any mistakes in the chase, he could potentially win the chase-to-chase comparison, and Turk's going to have to put together a really good lead run to match what James just did.
All right, here we are on the other side of this battle. Send it! Make some noise, Long Beach. Here we go. Who's going to the finals? Turk or Dean? Ryan Turk coming to play, dipping into that touch and go. James Dean right there, cannot be shaken. James Dean, that Wordhouse Drift team from Ireland, is he going to take it to the top? And look at James Dean all over Ryan Turk. James the Truth Dean. He is on fire right now.
Definitely coming across the pond and killing the game here today is James Dean. Same initiation in the chase position we've seen him do. Ryan Turk in the lead. Doesn't really get out to the touch and go there, so I think that the lead run is going to be a factor after what Lantane said. Turk might have done a better job right there on the outer zone number 2, but then right here, Dean closes the door. So Ryan, your final thoughts here on run 1 and run 2 from these two guys in the Final Four.
Turk definitely was not as close on the touch and go. It wasn't as close on outside zone 1. He was as close or closer on outside zone 2. But Dean, all the way through, was like his shadow. If you watch the transition points, the line, the angle, everything was identical. So I'd say James definitely has an advantage in the chase position.
So again, the winner advancing to the finals. Here we go. Who's going to the finals? And it's James Dean is going to the finals. on his re-entry here on U.S. soil. The luck of the Irish is on his side. He's guaranteed a podium, as is Ryan Turk. With that loss, Ryan Turk still gets third place because he qualified higher than both of the drivers, Odi Bakchis and Alex Hilbrun. So it's do or die for Hilbrun and Bakchis. As the winner will go against now James Dean, who qualified second. He's in the finals. At minimum will get second place, but he is going for it. All right, so Hilbrun, Bakchis, both these guys have seen the podium before, would love to get the win, the overall win. Hilbrun has seen third place, but not a victory. Odi has seen a win. All right, warming up the tires. Alex Hilbrun, Odi Bakchis, who's going against James Dean. Ryan, would you have thought this? I mean, James Dean coming in that strong. I mean, we've seen him drive before, but would you honestly would have thought that he'd be here?
It's really hard to know. I didn't really expect, anything. I just wanted to watch and see from everything that I've heard. I mean, obviously he's dominated all of Europe, and he came out today and he certainly made a big statement. Win, lose, or draw, whatever happens here, he made his presence here very, very known, and is going to make a lot of the top drivers think about what to do going into round two. Incredible performance.
Yeah, and this track obviously suits his style. Orlando, he's seen ovals before, but our ovals are, our tracks are very different than what he's seen in Ireland and all over Europe. But we'll see. It seems like the car's dialed. That's step one. The car's right, the mind's right, but he is the truth. James Dean, he is about it. So, but right now, Alex Hilbrun, Odi Bakchis, and if Odi could step up the way he has been on those chase runs, that's been fantastic. But look at Hilbrun taking down Frederick Osbo, Odi Bakchis taking down Dean Carnage Carney. He took down Peter Vincek. So right now, Alex Hilbrun will be leading in that Nitto tire. BMW IMR, Inca Madness Racing. Calls it the Monster BMW. It is a beast. Here we go. Throwing initiation. Hilbrun getting out of touch and go. And tapping the wall. Exploding the lens off the back of his BMW. Odi Bakchis, not phased, keeps it close, keeps it tight. They know they need to step it up. I mean, this is basically you either get a trophy or no trophy. That's how it's going to end here today for one of these gentlemen.
Well, a great start here to our final battle in the Final Four. And you can see right here, Hilbrun starting off very strong here. It's pretty deep in that touch and go. A little bit late, though. And then right there, right up against the wall in that outer zone. Odi sticking it to him. And I love this transition here. Ryan Lantane from Odi just right there, avoids the back bumper, tucks up on the inside, and then right there across the finish line, smashing the throttle.
Yeah, that was a masterful move right there by Odi. The way that he transitioned, he predicted where Hilbrun was going to be, and he just put his car right next to him. Hilbrun, on the other hand, did a good job of touch and go one, outside zone one. He was a little bit late. He did have a slight change in angle when he did tap the wall. It was very slight, but pretty clean lead run otherwise from Hilbrun.
And you got to think, Ryan, who's poised right now, seen all the battles today, who has a real shot against James Dean, who is just on one.
Well, I think both of these guys, I certainly have a legitimate shot. It's just going to be a matter of who can hold it together on this last run. Both have been driving aggressive. Neither have been afraid to go up against any of the outer zones, pop a bumper, hit a wall, and that's what it's going to take on James, because what we've seen from James in his lead runs is that he kind of does what Frederick Osbo has done in the past. That perfect lead run, and then make you work for it on your lead run.
Yeah, that's the advantage of qualifying high. You have that kind of choice. Round of applause for Alex Hilbrun. All right, so again, download the Formula Drift app. Put in the code FD1, you'll get 50 points, but giving away some goods, all the information, breaking news, ability to buy tickets, schedule, maps of the venue. There's so many things to check out on the Formula Drift app, and it's going to get better and better as the season goes on with all the content and the standings and everything going on. So be sure to download the app for for both Apple and Android. And again, put in the code FD1 and receive 50 points, compliments of FD. So, as now we're going to be seeing Odi Bakchis in the lead position. Odi will lead. Alex Hilbrun giving chase. Who's going to the finals against James Dean? Again, Ryan Turk will get the third position. He gets third place here on the streets of Long Beach. And here we go. Odi Bakchis out front. Look at that. Initiated at the same time. Hilbrun right there. Out to the touch and go goes Odi. Digging deep. Hilbrun drops into formation. It's a dogfight. As Hilbrun backing off, allowing him some distance in transition. Narrows up. Just works it around that final clip. Man, Alex just made that thing just move sideways. Did like the moonwalk over to that final clip. That was mastercraft.
Well, a very challenging job for the judges here. Two great runs back to back. Watch Odi out here. You can see just blazing that outer wall on the touch and go, then back around to outer zone 1 and 2. And then right here, Hilbrun dives in at the last second here. Ryan, what is your interpretation of this final battle here?
I really liked Odi's, the way that he got to touch and go, his transition out to outside zone 1. He didn't scrape the wall, but he was right out there. I don't think that Hilbrun had quite the aggressive jump in at the last inside clip, and he did hit that inside clip cone, but not too aggressively. So a couple of little things to look at, but overall, a pretty clean run from both these drivers.
All right, so who's it going to be? Who's advancing on? Where are my Odi Bakchis fans at? Running that teal and blue Falcon livery. And then where are my Alex Hilbrun fans at? Alex Hilbrun. Who wants to see him go one more time? All right, looks like we have kind of a winner. Here we go. Brian, Ryan, and Andy. Slide him left for Odi, slide him right for Hilbrun. And Brian says one more time. Ryan says Odi Bakchis, and Andy says one more time. So they are going at it again. We'll get some fresh rubber. Nitto under Alex's car. Some Falcon underneath the S14 of Odi Bakchis. When we come back, welcome back as we are seeing Odi Bakchis and Alex Hilbrun put on new tires to do battle one more time, hopefully one more time, to go, and one of them will advance on to go against James Dean. Speaking of James Dean, Lorette Nickel caught up with him once again as he's seeing the finals.
James, your spotter, Michael, just came over the radio and he said, whatever happens today, this has been amazing. How do you even put this into words?
I honestly really can't, and that's telling the truth. It's going to take a while to sink in, that's for sure, but here we're at our first FD event in 7 years, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has been behind me from the very start since day one. Like, it's not just me, it's not just driving, it's family, friends, it's sponsors, everyone who believed in me. This is for them. So I have no words. Just on top of the world.
What are you processing right now?
Seat, steering wheel, handbrake, gearbox, and trying to do my best, and that's just it. Yeah, tonight I don't know what. I think I'll just fall asleep after the event. I'm just pumped on adrenaline all day long, and it's just incredible. Incredible, super happy. So huge thanks to Warthouse Drift Team for making this possible, and my good friend Peter Viensek for believing me and coming up with this idea in the first place. And yeah, I owe so much to everyone around me right now, and just couldn't be better.
Best of luck in the finals, James.
Thank you so much.
Wow, James Dean, just you could just see he's absolutely elated. His team's working hard, and like I said, he is the truth, man. He's got a lot of fans in his home country of Ireland, but a lot of people knew that he was going to be a threat when he came here. But to this degree, I don't think anybody expected it, even himself. So, but he has one more battle to decide if he is the greatest one today, and really kicking things off as far as season, because there is a points championship, and after today there will be a leader going into round 2 in Orlando. So when we come back, we'll get some tires and we will burn them up for our final battle in the Final Four, Bakchis and Hilbrun, when we return. And there is James Dean waiting in the wings to find out who he's going against. Car is dialed, the Wordhouse Drift Team, and there you can see, already on the line, Alex Hilbrun. These guys have seen the podium before. Magnus Walker, how we doing? Jesse Combs, how we doing? In the building, yeah, you come up. Go ahead. All right, so lighten them up. All right, so here we go. Again, Alex will be leading. This is a one more time battle. Hilbrun, Nitto tires, Falcon tires underneath that of Odi Bakchis. Here we go. Hilbrun out front. Odi Bakchis. Who's going to the finals? Make some noise, Long Beach. Hilbrun or Bakchis. Wow, coming, guns a-blazing. Inca Madness is on fire, but there is Odi. Odi holding it down. A little bit overshooting there. Can he work it back in? Odi. That was the wackiest line by Bakchis. You saw him. He did not really go out to that touch and go. He got out to that gray concrete pad and then brought it back around. Really worked it out. Make some noise for these guys. Hilbrun and Bakchis.
Well, and a really incredible save by Odi, because from this position, it looked as if he was going to go flying off course out of outer zone 2. But right here, Hilbrun, great job on that touch and go, then back around. Now watch Odi right here. He's super close, but right there, a little bit of loss of angle. And then right here, Ryan, he falls through the smoke line. Somehow or another, he makes it back without hitting that inside clip. What happened there?
Yeah, that was pretty good car control from Odi after making that mistake. He managed to finesse his car around that corner and not get in the way of Hilbrun while falling in right next to him. But right off the bat here, you can see that Hilbrun gets really wide in the touch and go, just taps that wall ever so slightly. Odi's a little bit on the inside, and it kind of carries through to outside zone 2. And that's when he ends up going off in this situation. So he might have had just the wrong arc coming through there that sent him offline. But Hilbrun did a good job in the lead position. You can see right here, so that's where Odi kind of goes a little bit on the inside, loses a little bit of angle, and then it shoots him wide as Hilbrun goes over to the touch and go, goes nice and wide, grabs that inside clip, and then finishes off.
So now Odi will lead. Hilbrun will give chase. Whoever it is, they will get some fresh tires to do battle against James Dean for the finals. Our podium ceremony right here behind the judges stand. You can't miss it. Come join us over there. Here we go. Send it, Long Beach. Odi Bakchis out front. Hilbrun. Odi tapping the wall. Shredding bumpers. Hilbrun right there in the mix. Transitioning around that final clip. Man. Ryan Sage making claims. What do you got?
Well, definitely, I think on this run, this battle, you could certainly draw some better inferences than the last one. The last one was very close, but I see a couple mistakes there. Odi hitting that touch and go. Much better job by Odi deep into that second zone. But Ryan, your opinion really matters here. What do you say about this second run?
Yeah, Hilbrun really did a great job of mimicking everything that Odi did in the lead position. He was closer. He did a better job of doing what Odi did. He adhered to his line, and he did a really good job of mimicking his transitions, except for the very last one, which was a really difficult one to mimic just before the inside clip.
All right, here we go. Odi Bakchis or Alex Hilbrun. Who's going to the finals? Alex Hilbrun is going to the finals. It's Peru versus Ireland. Alex Hilbrun versus James Dean. Ryan Turk automatically gets third place because of his qualifying position. Best that of Odi Bakchis, who qualified 8th. So the finals are set. The Black Magic finals are here. And it is Alex Hilbrun and James Dean. Unbelievable. Alex Hilbrun, cool, calm, and collect during the halftime break. He's liking the car. He's looking strong. And it's James Dean versus Hilbrun. Again, Hilbrun from Lima, Peru. And James Dean back on U.S. soil to compete for this Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. The finals up next. We'll get a fresh set of Nitto tires underneath Alex Hilbrun's car. James Dean's got his Falcons. He's rip-roaring and ready to go when we return the finals here at the O'Reilly Auto Parts streets of Long Beach. Well, the finals are set here at round one, the streets of Long Beach, and we have our two contenders. James Dean re-enters competition, and Alex Hilbrun. Lorette Nickel caught up with the Peruvian driver that is Alex Hilbrun.
Guys, Alex is making his way into his first finals. And Alex, what do you have for James Dean?
Oh, we got a lot of things, you know. We have everything we had for everyone else, and that's going to be one more.
What are your expectations?
Well, obviously we're going to win, so thank you.
Love the confidence. Guys, back to you.
All right, so Alex Hilbrun, I can hear him winding it up.
He's going to win.
He's going to win, thank you.
We're going to win.
We're going to win. You're going to win, you always do. All right, so Hilbrun and Dean. Where are my Hilbrun fans at? How about where are my James Dean fans at? Wow. Look at that, how quickly he garners some fan base, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well-deserved. I don't think he's made one substantive mistake this entire event, especially in the lead position. And he certainly has momentum in his corner. Alex Hilbrun is going to have to work hard for this one. He's going to be taking the chase position in run number one, while James Dean will take the lead. Now, both guys top qualifiers in the top five. Dean number 2, number 5 for Hilbrun. And obviously seeing some of the other top qualifiers make it later into the competition, so letting you know that qualifying is an important part of the program here as both guys line up for the final battle of the 2017 Long Beach event.
All right, so you can see Alex Hilbrun warming up his tires. Remember, download the app. Watch every round of Formula Drift competition across the country, as we do have 8 rounds. This kicks it off. It ends back in Irwindale. All right, so we're ready to send it here, and here we go. The finals are set. Who's going to stand high atop the podium? Is it going to be Hilbrun? Or is James Dean going to make this a near-perfect event? He qualified second, and can he take it to the top? Or is Hilbrun going to step up and knock him down? There's a red flag, a restart there. All right, so James Dean jumped the light. James Dean jumping the light there off the start. Need to wait till the lights extinguish. All right, here we go. Long Beach, let them hear ya. Make some noise. The finals are set. They can hear ya just down the chute. And we are ready to send it. Long Beach, O'Reilly Auto Parts, streets of Long Beach. James Dean, Alex Hilbrun, the finals are here. Who's going to get the victory? James Dean gets out and touch and go. Hilbrun right there, transitioning into that rear clipping zone. Looks like Hilbrun comes off with that rear clip a little early. James Dean feeling all of them. Absolutely well done, flawless. Alex Hilbrun was front row in a clinic put on by that Irish surgeon.
Well, once again, we see James Dean go back to what he has been doing all weekend long, and especially here today in the lead position, and that is throw down a near-perfect lead run. You can see right to the touch and go, right to outer zone 1. Now, Alex is going to come up a little bit early here. Now, Ryan, as we leave outer zone 2, you can see Dean was right there in outer zone 2, and then wrapping back around, so he sets a very high bar for his lead run.
Yeah.
James Dean is essentially running the same run over and over again in the lead, and that's exactly what you need to get to this point in a competition. You need to run really close to all the walls. You have to be very consistent from start to finish, and that's what he's doing right now. He's not really making any mistakes in the lead position, getting really close to the touch and go, outside zone 1, all the way through the course with no corrections, no bobbles or anything. On the chase side, Hilbrun did a pretty good job, really close. He was a little bit lower, he had a little bit lower line from outside zone 1 through outside zone 2, but really did a great job in the chase position. So Hilbrun now has to put together, you know, something equivalent or better than what Dean did in his first lead run, and now Dean's going to have to try to mimic as best as he can, stay really close, and not make any errors in the chase.
It really seemed like, you know, Alex Hilbrun, he could chase down James Dean aggressively because he's seen, like you said, that's what makes it good going against somebody that is as strong and solid and consistent as James Dean. Hilbrun could just follow because he's just textbook. He's just reproducing it.
Exactly. And when you have that clean lead to follow, it's a lot easier as a chase driver to know you can trust that lead. And I must say that Hilbrun really learned his lesson from earlier, where he was kind of making that transition under the bridge not so wide. Now he's getting right out there and doing a good job. So he's really cleaned up his driving in that area.
Here we go, Long Beach and Formula Drift fans around the world. Who's going to get the victory? Send it! James Dean, Alex Hilbrun. The streets of Long Beach are on fire, and here we go. Hilbrun out front. James Dean on the door of Hilbrun, the BMW. Hilbrun gets all around the go wall to wall for Hilbrun. James Dean cannot be shaken. Is James Dean going to take it back to the top here on U.S. soil? Wheel to wheel, door to door, till the end. Make some noise, Long Beach! Ryan, do we have a victor? And who do you think it is?
Well, this is the first time we've seen at least some difference from James in the latter part of the course here. Now, great job by Hilbrun. Very, very deep into the touch and go. Perfect job on that first outer zone. And look at this on the second outer zone. Right there, he's a little bit late, but he gets very deep. Now, watch this right here. Dean tucks up on the inside. Hilbrun's a little bit deep on that inside clip. And you can see Dean was anticipating he was going to be a little bit tighter there, potentially. As we take a look at it again, Ryan, walk us through this second half of the run.
Hilbrun did exactly what he needed to do. He threw down a fantastic run. He might have just kind of bobbled to angle right there, but angle to angle, big transition, really, really wide, a little bit late on outside zone 2. And Dean here dives in really, really aggressively. He might have hit front wheel to front wheel in that area, which may have caused Hilbrun to kind of take some angle out of the car. It might have knocked the wheel out of his hand a little bit. But right here, great commitment from Hilbrun in the lead position.
Yeah, Hilbrun had a phenomenal run. I mean, if he would have had, I think, a better chase run, I could potentially see this going one more time. But you know, unfortunately, I think Hilbrun, I have to think that's it. But we'll bring him down here on the track. We'll bring the drivers on the track. We'll find out. Again, Ryan Tur guaranteed third. You saw Hilbrun and Dean do battle. We'll bring them out on track, and then the podium ceremony just behind the judges' stand, unless there is a one more time. And don't count it out. Hey, did you guys have fun today, Long Beach? Make some noise. They're chanting one more time here in the building. Who's coming to Irwindale now? Taking a look at it once again, and you know, Ryan, you have to take into consideration that contact as well. That can't just be ignored. Did that affect Hilbrun? It looked like Dean hit Hilbrun there. Look at that. I mean, he is on that wall.
Hilbrun was a little bit long in that second outer zone, and right there you can see he's not tight on the inside clip. Yeah. Dean follows him, makes some contact, so there could have been equal fault there. But it was sort of the latter part of the course, and it didn't seem to affect either driver too much. It's just really going to come down to looking at those both of those runs from either driver, taking a look at the replays we have, and then figuring out whether or not they've got a unanimous vote.
All right, so we'll see if we have a victor. All right, showing it again here.
Well, what we're looking at right now is Hilbrun's line coming around inside clip 1. We want to make sure that he was going to be in the right spot, that he was going to be going wide out to the finish line before James ended up coming in contact with him. So as we see right here, he did miss that inside clip quite a bit, and it looked like he was going to be on the inside of that corner as opposed to going out wide at the finish line, and that's really what we're looking at to assess fault for the contact.
All right, you can see the fans sticking around to find out, do we have a winner? And we do have a winner. They are not going one more time. We do have a winner. And we'll bring the vehicles right here onto the track. We'll bring them here on the track. Of course. Make some noise for all the drivers, all the competitors here at the streets of Long Beach. All right, our drivers are down here on the track. Again, did you guys have fun today at Long Beach? Make some noise as they step outside of their vehicle, Alex Hilbrun. And make some noise for James Dean. Let them gather their bearings, gather their thoughts. Congratulatory high five and a handshake. All right, so now again, Ryan Turk gets third place. And your winner here at O'Reilly Auto Parts, Streets of Long Beach, round 1 of the 14th season of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. It was Peru versus Ireland. Alex Hilbrun has seen the podium, but he's never won. James Dean has seen Formula Drift competition, and he's back here on U.S. soil to clutch kick and take some names. And your winner here on the streets of Long Beach, from Ireland, James Dean in the Warthouse Falcon Tires Sylvia S15 takes it to the top in a near perfect performance. James Dean is your victor, re-entering Formula Drift competition as Peter and Dean Carney congratulate him. And second place in the Nitto Tires Monster BMW, make some noise for Alex Hilbrun. James Dean, Alex Hilbrun, Ryan Turk, truly an international podium. So much work, and we got so many words. Lorette Nickel talking to James Dean. We're going to get one more interview with Lorette Nickel. Lorette, you're down there with our winner as Peter looks like he's giving a hug and a kiss. So if we could, throw it down to you, Lorette, who's with our winner.
You guys, congratulations. You are getting so many congratulations from your teammate, Peter. James Dean, from 2010 to 2017, it's been over 7 years in the making for you to get to this moment. How brave did you have to be today?
Beyond my limits. Oh my God, I honestly have no words. That is by far the best feeling I've ever had in my life. Just want to say huge thanks to everyone who made it possible, because I wouldn't be here without any of those guys. And I'd definitely like to dedicate this win to Lucas from Worthouse, who sadly passed away last week before our event. So it's been a tough weekend in so many ways, but definitely this win is for Lucas.
Wow, when you have such a day like this, how does the dream match up to the reality?
Far better. I never had dreams like this. This is insane. I have no words.
I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Thank you, Lorette, and congratulations, James Dean, Alex Hilbrun, and Ryan Turk. Join us. We're going to step down here. We're going to give out some trophies, pop some champagne, and celebrate. We have a points leader, and it's James Dean after round 1. So stay tuned as we have the trophy ceremonies again. Join us over here if you're in the building. But Ryan Sage, final thoughts?
Well, James Dean made his mark today. If there was any question about whether or not he had the tenacity and the skill to compete against the world's best, that was certainly answered here. But it is a long, long season, 7 more rounds to go.
Yeah.
in this 2017 season. So he's got his work cut out for him. People are going to make changes. They're going to make adjustments. And no doubt about it, it's going to be a battle all the way to the end.
Yeah, it's just exciting. I think this is just showing the progression, the eyeballs, the aspirations. You look at James Dean, he's like, I've always wanted to come back to the States. He's doing it on his terms, in his car, doing the style he has, and he's doing it, seems to me, like grace, like a very graceful and humble Irish driver. And he's a young man, he's got a lot of talent, and he's the truth. There it is. Congratulations, James Dean. And thank you so much for joining us out here. Round 1 is in the books, the O'Reilly Auto Parts, Streets of Long Beach. Thank you on behalf of Ryan Lantain, our judges, Lorette Nickel, and Ryan Sage. I'm Jarod DeAnda. We'll see you next time. Send it.